What is up, guys? What is up? My name is Jackal, and we are here for more Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Here to talk about the next episode of Bojack, and also here to clean up some of these monsters, because we beat the boss last time. We got the crystal, we got the coin. Oops, this is the wrong weapon. How dare you heal this damage? But we got all the things we needed, but there were still bodies left that needed to be dropped. So, you know what we got to do? We got to find them, we got to get rid of them. But hope everyone's doing all right today. It's a nice... Supposed to be recording this on Saturday, but you know how it goes. It's Sunday morning, 2 a.m. So for most people, functionally, you know... It's Saturday, more or less. Saturday night. I don't even know what's the time that most people actually, really and truly consider it the next morning. Because even after all these years, I tell my girls, when I work. And I'll say, oh yeah, I work Saturday night. And they'll be confused. Or I'll say I work Saturday morning. And they'll be confused as to what that means. Because they're used to the time that I go to work. They still just call that at night. It's really dumb. It's really weird. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing alright today. Getting ourselves nearer and nearer to the end of this series. And this game too, honestly. Not just this game, but this series is... Or, not... Switch it around. Not just this series with Bojack Horseman, but this game's coming to an end. I mean, the game, the games have come and gone, but I mean, what have I played while talking about Bojack? I think I finished off Mega Man when I first started. It was only one episode, but I remember that the first episode I ever talked about, I could have sworn was a fucking, was the last episode of playing Mega Man 1. And then I think I did the first Secret of Mana game, Final Fantasy Adventure, which I believe funny enough, was the one that in Europe was actually called Mystic Quest. But yeah, Secret of Mana 1 is what we'll call it, because that's really what it is. It was only the marketing that decided to call it Final Fantasy outside of Japan. Way to drum up sales for a new series. But no, I think I played that. And then I did Soul Blazer, which is the first one of the Gaia games, like Illusion of Gaia, and then Terranigma, and now this game. So I haven't played a super shitload of games, but I've played a good number while talking about Bojack. I would have finished all these games sooner, but playing them only once a week kind of extends how long I play them for. I'm looking around why does it feel like there's more enemies now? The fuck is going on here? But yeah, coming up to the end. So season 6, episode 14. The second episode in what I have basically been told to consider the 4-part finale. And this episode was a rough one. Bojack has officially gone back and relapsed, which is a terrible thing to see again. Really fucking terrible to see. And it's weird because, his drinking isn't even the same as it used to be. Like, back when he was like his regular old functioning alcoholic self, his when he would drink, it would just be like he was just drinking, even when he shouldn't be. Like, it just showed him drinking. At the beginning of the episode, like, I mean, I may be mistaken. I watched the episode 3 times over the course of the week, but I may still be mistaken. But it just felt like he was just, like, looking at the alcohol and just being like, ugh. And, like, that's a really sad state for him to be in. Ooh. $5.91 on all. That's not bad at all. Especially for being triple targeted. What does it do on a single target? Damn. And that's not being weak to that or anything. Okay. Alright, game. Alright. Now let's implement that in battle a little bit. No. Or do I have to use it on all? I guess I do. Fuck it, use arrow. I was hoping she would go first. But yeah, when Bojack's drinking now, it just looks like he's just disgusted, like, with everything. And, like, he starts off clearly doing the shit for fucking horny unicorn. And, I mean, at this point, he's kind of left with no real choice but to do it. You know, he's lost all this money. He's lost his home. You're a fucking dickhead, bro. Why you gotta be like that? Yeah, like that's gonna fucking save you, asshole. But, you know, he just needs the money by whatever means possible. And that's the thing that sucks, is that, you know, he gets this call from that Angela woman, the woman who convinced Bojack to sell out Herb for the show. You know, she brings him over and, you know, gets him drunk and sweet talks him into signing over all of his rights to the Bojack to horsing around. And that's really rough, because I mean, the only thing at this point that Bojack even has to take any sort of pride on is that fucking show. Like, that's all he's got left. He doesn't have anything else. Excalibur, yo. Ooh, that's almost one-shotting these mofakus. But, you know, this is like the one last thing that he has, like, any bit of pride that he can have in anything. And, you know, he just sold his rights to it. You know, at this point, he's lost everyone. He's lost his friends, his colleagues, his career, any real trace of him, past, present, or future. Like, he's fucked. He has lost everything at this point. And it's really sad to see, because, I mean, the whole start of the show was him getting his whole life back on track. And now it's become the complete opposite of that. You know, now he's I was going to say losing. No, he's lost everything. And, like, with the end of the episode, him breaking and entering into his old house, like, I don't even know if there's Ooh, excuse me. I don't even know what's left for him. I don't know where we could possibly fucking go. Oh my god, this fucking shit. God, finally, just kill her already. Jesus Christ. Alright. Fuck these guys over here. These mages are the ones who need to fucking fuck off. Oh. Don't you start doing shit like that. But you know, it's just weird to think like where he went and where he came from. And even this season, how he had started off on such a promising route to making a recovery. And, you know, it's hard to think what could have maybe helped avoid all of this season. But I mean, I don't even know if the things that have happened this season could be avoided. Or even if it would have been right if they would have been avoided. I don't know, Bojack is just... He's definitely not been the happiest part of the episodes, especially lately, I tell you what. He's definitely not been the fucking beacon of positivity going on here. And it sucks because, you know, this Angela woman even, like, talks about how, you know, I guess the whole time she had been through... No! God damn it! Uh, 12 minutes. God damn it. Let's just fucking... just reset the damn thing. God damn it. I've been doing so good. I haven't been, like, overfighting. I haven't been... Alright. A little bit of redo. My bad. My bad. My bad. It's not the first time I've done this in this, but it won't be the last. These episodes are more for me talking anyway, so who the fuck cares? But no, you know, it sucks that when she talks to Bojack about this having been a bluff the whole time, it sucks because, you know, there is a part of us that can see where the boulder started rolling. And that how much, you know, she really did influence what did end up being every bad decision that Bojack ended up making career-wise. And, you know, Angela's right. You know, she didn't force Bojack's hand. He made this choice of his own free will. They both were doing what they had to do. You know, her job, I don't know how true it is because they don't really focus on it, or maybe they did at the time. But, you know, she says she was doing it to keep her job. Bojack was doing it because, I mean, Bojack's a coward, and he just didn't want to... Well, it's not just that he's a coward. You know, there's also a big part of him that, you know, everything that he envisioned about himself being, like, good was wrapped up in this show. You know, this show was what he tried using to impress his mother after all these years. You know, even when she didn't give a fuck about him and still didn't, even at the end. She actively hated his show. You know, she actively, like, hated that shit. How good does that do? Oh, they're weak against the wind. I figured because they were red, it'd be like firebirds. That'd kill them anyway, though. Sweet. But, I'll just do the same thing. But, you know, like, but yeah, we understand on a personal level, like, and seeing what Bojack went through and how obviously easily influenced he is, that, you know, she was able to sell him the right shit to get him to not, into not sticking to his guns and then not sticking by her. You know, and I remember a little bit about it where she basically came up to him as if this was like an inevitability, that she already knew what Bojack was going to do. She almost, in a way, ended up talking to him, now that I think about it, in a lot of the same ways that his mother would have talked to him. And it kind of made him just, like, accept it and just go along with it. Because, I mean, that's how he was with his mom. And, you know, I don't know if the creators of the show ever meant it to be that way, but it kind of just was. And it sucks. Because, like, on one hand, you do want to say, like, it is all her fault. But, like, that one incident is her fault. Because the reality of the matter is, Bojack could have fucked up and still signed the thing and basically gotten Herb kicked out or kicked off the show. And then right afterwards called Herb and been like, listen, bro, I fucked up. I caved. I'm a fucking piece of shit. I don't know why I did that. Like, fucking, you know, I'm sorry. I'll make some of this money, and I'll make sure that you obviously see your fucking fair cut of it. You know, in our own way. Or even if he doesn't do that, just, you know, he could have made amends in every way. I mean, but that was the whole thing about him and Herb meeting up in the first season. Was, you know, Herb had told him, like, you know, I didn't give a fuck about the show. I cared that, like, you were my friend, and you fucking abandoned me, like, when I needed you. You know, I don't care that you didn't stick up for me work-wise. But, like, you never called me. You never called to see how I was doing, how I was recovering off of losing my show. A show that you were so terrified of losing that you sold me out for. So, like, you clearly understood, like, how important this was to the both of us. You know, but in the end, like, she may have influenced that one decision, that one bad decision, to get Herb kicked off. But that's not anything to say for every other decision that he made other than that. You know, all the other decisions are still on him. You know, he didn't have to do things the way that he had done them. He did them that way because, you know, he's a pussy. Let's give her a quick heal. But yeah, I genuinely don't know what Bojack's going to do in this next upcoming episode. Because, you know, it ends off with him doing a casual B&E at his old place since, you know, he doesn't have it anymore. But he's so drunk that he drove his old car to his old house. You know, what he... And it's almost tragic. Well, no, it is tragic. It's tragic and it's almost funny. That's how I wanted to say it. It's tragic and it's almost funny. How, you know, this whole thing comes out about Bojack's involvement in Princess Princess Carolyn, what the fuck, in Sarah Lynn's death, and thanks, dickhead. And, you know, that nothing about that is technically illegal just because, like, it was so long ago and, you know, there was never a police investigation into any of this. But Bojack just ended up getting, you know, sued by Sarah Lynn's family. So, you know, basically his involvement in killing another person, it wasn't going to be the thing that lands him in jail. Him breaking into somebody else's house is what'll land him in jail. And that's pretty sad. But, you know, obviously the show wants to leave you with the last image of, you know, her telling Bojack, like, yeah, don't worry about it, buddy. This is when the rest of your life starts. It all starts from here. So, like, might not be what he says, but, like, that's the feeling. You know, it all starts from this moment. And it did. And not in any of the way that they would have wanted. Either one of them. You know, that wasn't a future that any of them wanted for either of them. For two, you know, really good friends come up and coming to, you know, end up not speaking for this long because one of them was a fucking coward. It's shitty. It's a really shitty situation. But then Princess Carolyn and Judah. Oh, fuck, man. Finally, these two. There's been always something bubbling and brewing. I felt it in my bones. And Judah finally told Princess Carolyn in a song that he loved her. You know, Princess Carolyn is starting off here by basically getting offered to start like a movie studio, and now she's considering just doing it herself, which is a fantastic idea. But, you know, she does give Judah some really good advice where, you know, just looking at her life, you know, she tells him, you know, don't spend your whole life just chasing after this job or just giving everything of your life to this job, because someone might ask you what you want to do and you're going to tell them you don't know. And, you know, that is something that everybody should keep in mind. You know, there is a part, you know, of your dreams that should always be with you. Even if that's not going to be even if, let's say, your dream is, we'll call it, technically unobtainable. Even if that's true, you should still want it. But, you know, Princess Carolyn has spent, you know, so long doing all of these things that she felt she had to do that, you know, she doesn't really know what she wants. And I think it's really good for her to impart that onto somebody else. But of course, Judah doesn't need that information. He just needs that pink kitty, you know what I'm saying? Too bad I couldn't throw it from the tunnel. That would have been cool. I love their faces. Ooh! You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead, and I hate you. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Or at least their poison's cured. But it's nice because Judah's probably been the most wholesome character in the show, especially among like the so much yawning, and I still got some fucking what's it called? Fire Emblem to play after this. Ooh, that's going to be brutal. That's going to be brutal. Only because I'm tired. I've been looking forward to that shit all week, but I'm so sleepy. Oh, I slept pretty late too today. I mean, I slept for the normal amount of time, but like I started sleeping later. Watching the kids and shit. But yeah, anyway, it's just nice to see the two of them finally, like, showing true interest in one another. They've both been kind of hinting at it long enough. Even though when he finally said he loved her, Princess Carolyn didn't really have a reaction to it, really. I feel like it's going to be, like, delayed a little bit. But it's sweet nonetheless. It's about time. I'm really happy for them. I do like how every self-respectable man in a band, when Princess Carolyn asked Judah, like, are you in a band? And he was like, well, you know, I didn't want you to feel obligated to go. We're not good. And it's like, that's some fucking truth right there. Like, listen, I don't want you to feel obligated to go to this shit. It is terrible. You're good. Don't worry about it, fam. Ooh. Oh, it's a poison counter. That's what it is. The message never, I don't think, stayed up long enough to where I could see. I always just saw the word counter. Sitting there thinking, oh, I wonder if it's just missing the count. No, it's not. Oh, hello. Oh, wow, you're actually paired up with another enemy for once. Jesus Christ. That's super lame. But yeah, not much to say with Princess Carolyn and Judah. Just some shit that I've been waiting to see for a while and finally getting, and I'm happy I'm getting it. That's all I can say for that. I am just happy and content. Todd, it's nice to watch him finally reunite with his mother. In typical old-ass parent fashion, you know, the reason why that they have been missing each other, well, the reason why Todd's mother's been fucking bailing out is because he gave her his kidney and is ashamed that her son had to save her life. And it's just like, you know, something like that level of pride and insecurity is something that ends up keeping a woman from her son. You know, yeah, she wanted him to grow up at 18, which, you know, maybe she should have had, maybe she was right. I don't really know the individual situation. They never really said it. You know, by the way that it sounds like she was probably in the right. But, you know, it also goes to say something when, you know, you didn't mean for him to leave forever. But he did, and for some reason he felt like, clearly felt like in some way, shape, or form that he had to leave like that. Or not that he had to leave, that he had to stay gone like that. And I can't imagine what it was that made Todd feel that way, but that's got to be one hell of a feeling. I mean, me, I've talked about that, you know, some people have, you know, tried to compare, you know, different life stories in my life. And, you know, I get people who will sit there and tell me that, you know, they'll sit there and tell me that, you know, basically that I wasn't really homeless because at every point I could have gone back to them. And it's like, that fact that you can, at least when like a big part of like a big thing in your depression is like feelings of guilt, feelings of inadequacy, feelings of shame, a lot of things that partially play into that are fed into the situation more in sometimes in instances like that where you can go back. So it's not quite the same. But it's more just like shame will keep you from making decisions that are objectively the right decisions, just out of shame alone. You know, like with me, like there was just a huge part of me that did not want to go back to my parents because I didn't want to have to go to them and be like, yep, well, look at me. I fucking couldn't do it. Like, there's a huge, it's just so shameful. And, you know, it just ends up leading people to make decisions that they probably otherwise wouldn't ever make. And, you know, it's a bit different from the situation with Todd's mom. But, you know, the shame base is really the thing that I'm comparing. And that's what I mean. It's just fucked up that... It's fucked up that that's, you know, a decision that she's made based on shame. And it keeps her from having a relationship that she could be having. And then Diane and Mr. finally being cool with each other again. That was nice to see. You know, they got to have a pretty in-depth conversation. Where fucking Diane basically talks about how she's Naruto. You know, casually. She's like, yep, I will become Hokage. But no, she talks about how, you know, part of what makes her sometimes feel like her and what it's like to be Diane is the feeling like you're made of puzzle pieces from a bunch of different puzzles that don't quite fit together. And it's like, true, but that is basically everyone. You know, because everyone is basically a culmination of all the things that have gone on to you in your life, whether they've been in your control or not. You know, you're all a culmination of all these things. I mean, shit, looking over at what Angela had been saying at one point in the episode, you know, to kind of mirror that, you know, she said it's so weird to look at basically said it's so weird to look at everything because, you know, nothing matters. But yet, you know, on the micro, you know, especially when it comes to a person's decisions, everything matters greatly. And that is just a huge truth of the matter. It's most excellent. Thank you, finally. Jesus Christ. But you know, it's nice to hear Mr. Peanut Butter pretty enthused for Diane's success. And of course, you know, Mr. Peanut Butter would write a book, and of course it came super easy to him. You know, to just make Diane have to, you know, eat shit just a little bit as a character. But yeah, no, this was a good episode. It was a good episode. It hit hard. Wondering if this might just be it for the night. I'm wondering if I'm going to play Fire Emblem after this. It's a big debate arena right now. Tomorrow's going to be nice. It's going to be taking the kids to different playgrounds and taking them to a play place. So that's going to be fun. Dung, 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 dung. That was perfect. God. What do we got tomorrow? We got Naruto. And we got Demon Slayer. That's excellent. This is most excellent. No more heal potions, eh? We've used plenty. Alright, that is going to be it for the day today, though, guys. Had to do a little bit of backtracking because we fucked up a little bit. But, you know, this is not the first time we've made that exact mistake in this game before. Using that fucking exit spell. I genuinely want to see what it's like when I basically fight every enemy once in this game. No grinding, no nothing. Just doing all the battlefields, all the battles that I can see. Maybe there's been one that I've missed. Maybe there's been two. Maybe there's been more. Fuck, I don't know. But I don't want to grind too much, so hitting that exit spell, oof, that hurt me. But luckily I was good and saved my game at the end last time. And as for Bojack, I'm trying to think, do I have anything else to say? Not really off the top of my head. No, nothing really. Just more anticipation for the next episode and to see, because I'm only like 24 hours and some change from watching that episode. You know, at most 36. So we're going to see what goes on in this penultimate episode. And this is probably going to be pretty fucking big. I don't know. I am not really... I'm both looking forward to it and I'm not looking forward to it all at the same time. We'll see how it goes. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Till next time. Next time we come back, it's the second to last episode, and we know how second to last episodes go. So we'll see what's up. Till then, guys. Peace. Get that out of here. No, go away.